What's up, everyone? I'm Magicide. Welcome back to our Geek Fest here, playing Crusader Kings II in the 1066 bookmark as Lombard Salerno. The last time we left off, we did really well. We took over two different provinces from Apulia. We have Messina down here, and then we have Taranto, which is good for us. I mean, they're still going to be, I guess, what you'd consider maybe a rival to some extent, but they don't have as many troops anymore. So as long as they don't get the money to hire a bunch of mercs and then secure a bunch of alliances and whatnot, we should be okay. But it looks like they're facing a revolt here that they're going to lose. So Benevento here is going to become independent, it looks like. Actually, what is their war right now? Their war is... Okay, so they want Gavelkind, which is pretty good for us. That means there's a bigger chance that this is going to divide. Beyond that, I think before we get started, let's go ahead and take a look at this. We haven't reigned for 10 years. I have a list of administrative things that I'd like to speak about first. The one of them is that I went ahead and watched my previous episodes that I've published so far. And in a previous episode, I mentioned something about the assigned guardian not having a way to sort things out. So, for instance, if we take you're 0 years old, so you're not going to be eligible. 3. Let's find a child here that's actually of age. You are 14. Okay, so we'll take this child here, for instance. If we go to assign a guardian, or even the betrothal or arrange a marriage. So what we'll do is we'll click on a guy here just for shits and giggles. Okay, when I said you couldn't sort it by culture, you can sort it this way, right? And you can sort it by realm, age, and all the rest of this stuff. Now, what I was specifically meaning is that you looked at that screen, you could search through things. Now you look through Character Finder here, and there are so many other options here. And what I was talking about is that if you wanted to, say, look for somebody in your realm that's your religion, your culture, let's say a man, not married, right? And whatever else, and then you typed in, let's say, content. Okay, so it's going to give me a list of all the people that meet these Booleans here. And when you actually try to assign a guardian or arrange a marriage or a betrothal or whatever else, you don't have these options here. And it'd be really nice because sometimes you're looking for very specific people to have the person get married to or educate the child in question. That's what I was specifically meaning. The other thing that I did was that since I watched the videos, I noticed that some of our effects sounds were a little too high. I went ahead and adjusted them. For instance, if you go into Religion tab, and then you get like the monk sound, or if you go into your court, or go into the court, and you start getting all the like whispers and stuff, it was kind of loud. So I adjusted that. It shouldn't be so loud anymore, which is good. I'm glad I did that. The other thing that I wanted to discuss was actually our routes of expansion. Around the beginning, I said that maybe we could take over Sardinia here, and we had the option of going west and taking out maybe some of these smaller Muslim nations here, including these islands that France already took over. One of the problems that I have with that is that the further west we go, the higher chance we're going to get attacked. And what I mean is that I put on the sunset evasion, and I set it to random. So the Nahuatl people can just show up with their, 150,000 troop doom stacks. And I'd really hate to conquer this entire area and have us be attacked by them. So if we end up coming here to the Iberian Peninsula, we might just focus on the eastern edges of it. But we want to actually secure as much land as possible because, like I said, I'd like to turn this into a mega campaign and play in EU4. And we'll see about that. There's a lot of time that can pass from that point to this point. As we can see, the Seljuks are facing some revolts, but they're pretty big. The Byzantines look like they might have gotten some of their territory back here in the eastern lands. They're big, and then you've got the HRE here, which is huge. And the other thing that I also wanted to mention about the HRE. So when I've played Crusader Kings II in the past, I've generally liked to start off in the earlier bookmarks like 769 or 867, because I just feel like the world isn't so homogenized. You don't have like these huge massive blobs. Everything is still fairly, I wouldn't say even, but it's just you don't have these big behemoths. And I've always preferred to play on those. I liked getting the really long campaigns in. And the reason why I bring that up is that I've never taken, say, a 1066 or later CK2 game and exported it into Europa Universalis 4 and seen what it looks like. So if we just took this game file and we exported it into EU4, I should test this out at some point. I'm wondering, is the Holy Roman Empire, is it going to be just one massive blob like this, or is it going to actually divide everything up into, you know, all of the requisite one province minor electors and all that other stuff? I'm really curious to find out how that happens, because if that is the case, then we should be okay. It's not like we're going to have to deal with this big massive blob here. I mean, there'll still be the HRE, but it'll still be a bunch of little guys. So that'll be very interesting. The other thing that I have not explored yet, and it makes sense why I wouldn't have, is since I've been playing a lot of the Game of Thrones mod, there is no retinues in that mod, but here we have retinues. And this is something to very much explore here. There was some really good threads on the official Paradox forums about some really very detailed analyses on the different cultural retinues versus the standard retinues and whatnot, and which ones are actually the best. It's pretty outdated, though. I think the last time it was updated was post-Conclave, and I don't think anybody's produced a new one since then, or an updated one. So that's something that I might actually have to keep an eye out, because we've got these heavy infantry, these German guys. Okay, so they're called Lombard heavy infantry. We get 300 for a whole bunch of money. That sucks. But if we look here in our actual holding, it's called the Germanic infantry barracks or whatever. So as far as retinues go, I think we're making buckets of ducats. I think it's time that we actually start building up a force. We just need to make sure that they're positioned in a place that they're not actually going to be in our wars, because I want them to be at tip-top shape at all times. And not only that, but when, you know, a retinue of, say, let's say I get the heavy infantry one, it's 300 troops, and if I go to war with somebody, they get attacked, they lose troops, it costs money to replenish them, and it costs a lot. So I'd really prefer to keep them out of the fight until, say, we have a whole bunch of money, or, you know, we have a large retinue. But anyways, I think what we were doing before is we shut our gates because we have, let's see here, what is this, smallpox? Measles. Okay, so we actually did contract measles ourselves, but we got rid of it, thankfully. The other problem with it is that we actually signed a couple of alliances. Some dude over here, and I think it was our wife, if I'm not mistaken. I think our wife was fighting these guys, and we got involved with those two wars. It doesn't really look like they're going to have a problem actually fighting them off. I don't know where their actual army is, but that should go away sometime soon. And this, I think our allies, this group over here is actually fighting a couple different guys. Yeah, they're fighting two different groups. So this war should be over, I think, at some point. We may actually want to start moving some troops around. And the last thing I did was rename all my provinces. Looks like I have too many counties here, because I'm over my domain limit. Let me, let's see here. I've got 15 stewardship. And as far as laws go, we want to change this to agnatic, cognatic at some point. As far as changing other laws, 1099 for you. Okay, so it'll be 1099 just straight up. We'll have to take a look at that in the future. Let's see here. We've got no plots, which is good. I don't think we really have any other problems. Let's take a look at our council. You are in Neapolis trying to fabricate a claim, because I'm trying to secure these two provinces now. I would really prefer to save Capua for last, because I don't really want to border the HRE just yet. You're training troops, you're collecting taxes, you're studying tech, and you're proselytizing. That all looks good. Let's take a look at our commanders real quick. Okay, everything looks pretty solid there. Right. So, I think I already built a fort here. Yes, I did. Okay, fantastic. So, let's, before we unpause, let's actually take a look at our retinues. Let's buy one retinue right now. Okay, and have nobody lead it. I think what I should do is maybe put my retinues down here in Palermo, just for the moment. Actually, I'll put them in Messina, right? Because there's nothing bad down here. Okay. So once they actually get up to full strength, I'll actually maybe move them in position. Let's get started. So I think what we're just doing is waiting for these two wars to go away, for one, and then for two, waiting for claims. Okay, count. Somebody has... Alright, somebody just died. And it looks like we need a new guardian. Kinswoman. Assign a guardian. Okay, so you're German, you're French, you're Lombard. You look good. Okay. And the other thing I want to do here is actually set him to be a person of special interest. Another thing I did, I didn't record this, is when I was testing out my audio options, I actually went through the message settings and tried to fiddle around with that. Unfortunately, there's not one. So it's like if you're educating a child and there's an option to do one or the other type of thing, you know, your child gets a trait. Before, it would give you a second pop-up telling you what the results were, but now it shows you in the high priority messages. And I don't know if Paradox actually straight up took it out or they renamed it or what. I can't find it. It might have something to do with me actually just turning off Conclave because they changed the education system with that expansion. And looks here, Messina here. I really don't want to get rid of Messina. I just want to increase my own stewardship so I can control it myself. So I don't want to give it up just yet. Let's see here. Let's take sort by opinion. So it looks like we got a couple of vassals here that don't like us. Sub-vassals. And this guy, why don't you like me? Domain too big, primogenitor, small feudal tax. Retender and claimant to the Duchy of Salerno. Okay. Fine. Let's take a look at our levy too. We've got almost a full levy. Look at that. That's fantastic. You know, something else that was a problem is man, we've got access to a shit ton of ships here, but wow, that made us siphon money. So I think from now on, we're going to individually raise ships to the amount that we need instead of just doing the full amount, because that was insanely expensive. Okay, so somebody gets married, you can. Good. All right. You know, I could potentially declare war. Okay, so that war ended. That's good. You know what I think I might be able to do here? This man here has no packs, and you've got a small amount of troops. I can't declare war on him. Oh, yes. All right. I can't declare war on him because I don't have a valid casus belli. And I think that's because we don't border him. If we owned this island down here of Mallorca, we could go in there and holy war those guys. But since we're not around that area anymore, or we're not around that area, period, we can't do it. So I think what we might try to do is just straight up fabricate a claim over here just so we can start holy warring this area. Somebody is trying to usurp my title, make him disappear. Awesome. The assassins succeeded. Very good. This war here is the only other one that's still raging. Oh, actually, no, it's not that. It's the other one. Okay, so they have a whole bunch of troops. Who am I all fighting here? Fighting two different dudes. What do I need? I need a new commander. Very well. Let's have this man here. So I think it's my wife. What is this war over? The liberation of Wallachia. The problem is they've got 5,300 troops. How many troops do we have? We only have like 4,300, so which means we'd have to hire mercs. That's interesting. Okay, but where are you guys? Okay, so this man here, and you have a whole bunch of troops, but you're still tribal, so your troop, I'm assuming that his technology is going to suck. I really want to finish this. I think if they liberate the area, we get control of it, or at least my wife does. So what do we do here? Should we just march or sail our troops over here and help out, or what? Let's actually see how this plays out a little bit. I don't know where my wife's army is at. I mean, I don't really care about this area here. I would prefer not to border these guys. Oh, fantastic. Look at that. We get a claim on Neapolis, so we're going to go ahead and do that. The other place that we should probably fabricate a claim on, since Apulia here, we already took away the two provinces. Oh, I can straight up claim it for my vassal, but we don't want to do that. So I think the next thing to do here is probably, let's take a look at Reggio here. What is the next duchy? Okay, so it's a two-province duchy. I would prefer if I owned the actual county of Reggio. so that way I can connect my lands. Let's go and take a look at Neapolis. They have nothing, so we're going to declare war on them. And let's raise our troops. And I think that should be good to go. These guys are in my retinue, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Oop. Or were these guys? One of these guys are. Okay, so that one's just heavy infantry. Okay. So, yep. Send you guys up, and this stack right here, I'll send you guys up. Actually, as I was. Come on, men. Let's group up. So that war ended inconclusively, which means he didn't win it. Did Apulia die? Okay, that looks good. Go in there and smash face. Oh, looks like my one flank here is getting crushed. Victory! Okay, let's take my one shits here. You have all my commanders, so we'll take this other stack and we'll march you guys up. Okay, group you guys up. You guys are going to go to Benevento. Very good. Oops. Oh. This should be a really quick and easy war. Okay, so I've got a kinswoman here that needs to get married. Let's do the same thing. How about this man here? That looks good to me. Okay, wifey's pregnant again. Let's group you guys up. You guys are going to Foggia. Oh, wait, whoa, whoa, whoa. What are you doing? Come on. Siege. Okay, so it looks like this Duke here... So somebody died. He died. No, who the hell died? Then the alliance, because they no longer have marriage ties. Oh, because he died. Okay, that's right. Or did he die? Did he not die, or what? What's going on here? So, am I out of that war then? Wait, I don't understand. Right, my cousin here can join in. Looks like we're gonna need somebody here on the flank. Actually, what we should do is probably put this guy in. Okay, so it looks like this man here just usurped the title. He's the new ruler of Apulia. Awesome. We caught the guy in battle. And now we own this province here. Let's take a look at our prisoner tab. He's not in it, so what we can do is march our troops back over. And let's take a look at... Oh, wow. Okay, so Apulia just straight up split. This is all Benevento, this is all Benevento, and these three provinces here are Apulia. That's great. Can we can't declare war because we've got troops that are raised. Fine. Alright, let's, since we have retinues now, it's in our best interest to stand down our troops from this panel here. So let's take a look. Can we actually declare war on them? I can claim Apulia for my one vassal here, but he is going to own all three of those provinces. Right? And he's Norman. We don't want that. Let's take a look at Benevento here. So we still have a truce with him. But that really sucks because... Let's actually take a look at his Apulia. Let's take a look at the duchy. Let's go to claimants. We got this Norman here. See, the problem is that if I install that guy, I want to try to culture flip it. And everybody here is Norman or Italian. So I can go to war with them, but I don't want to do that because I don't want to install that one person. Let's take a look at our city. So he's Greek. Oops. Let's take a look at you. Okay, well, we absolutely need to revoke these guys' titles. The bishop there needs to be replaced. The other castle guy, he's Greek too. Okay, so you can get married. Alright. So eventually they'll send us the thingy. He says yes, so what we're going to do, we're going to go to Character Finder. We'll do men, my religion, my culture. And I don't really care if they're content or not, but you already own titles. Let's do ruler. No. We have a Lombard man here who's a spy master. Sure. Actually, we'll order you to take vows. So you're now a monk, and we'll grant you the bishopric. We absolutely do not want somebody that's orthodox there. And since we own another province that I can't actually do anything with, what am I looking for here? Diplomatic, no. So ruler, any. So the only people we have content are these guys. Let's go to search all. Let's do this. Men, content, join court. Yes, there is nobody. That sucks. Okay, do we have anybody in our family that might want to do this? He's okay. He's got a bunch of claims and stuff. I really don't want to install this guy for obvious reasons, but I think we have no choice. You can have Neapolis. And let's try to award the Master of Hunt, so he'll like us a little bit. Very good. And then let's actually take a look. The Duchy of Capua. We can't create it, but can we just straight up go to war with these guys now, since I own the other province? No, we can't. Okay. Now the question is what do we do with ourselves? Were you already betrothed? No. Okay, so since her dude here died, let's do somebody else. Let's go genius. Quick. Oops. Strong. Okay, we have a 23-year-old strong man here. Yep, let's do him. I'll lose a little bit of prestige, but that's okay. What was my ambition, by the way? Was to become king of Sicily. We're well on our way of doing that. Okay, so this matrilineally sounds good. So again, we're stuck sitting around waiting for claims, making a lot of money. I think what we have to do here is attack these guys. They've got 4,900 troops, though. And we've got 41. They've got 5,000, so they're recuperating some. Like, I'm just going to end up sticking in this war forever unless I hire mercs. So I've come down with cramps. Oh, shit. So, wait a minute here. Hold up, game. Okay, so Mesos has disappeared. But I shut my gates before. What the hell? Shlomo has spent many hours studying the stars before informing you that in order for your strength to return, you had to feast for the night for a better half of a fortnight. Okay. Well, let's hope we don't die here. Alright, so I have a new daughter who's strong. Let's marry you off. So let's go do the same thing. Genius. There is a 1-year-old genius baby. Great. And I'm only, 22, so I've definitely not been married or ruling for long enough to change any of the inheritance laws and whatnot. So I've got food poisoning. Please help me. Okay, Shlomo made you drink a draft of poppy before strapping you down on his operating table. You almost dozed off while he prepared his instruments, but when he raised a scalpel towards your eye, you felt wide awake. I'm sorry, my lord, but we must remove the root of the problem. So I'm now severely injured and one-eyed. Fuck. That's not a big deal. This is the problem. Recently I've noticed the pitiful state of my wife. I'm wondering if these guys... Okay, so there's my ally. You know what I'm thinking is going to have to happen here is I think I'm going to have to go up there and attack them. I don't really want to do that, though. So we've got 4,000 troops, so we're going to need like 40 ships. So how many ships can I muster here? Does it actually show? Okay, so 16 ships. I think I'm going to have to, and what I'm going to have to do is probably march my troops up here and have them attach and then attack them. So unfortunately, I don't think I have much of a choice. So let's raise my troops, get them all to come here, except for my retinue. Actually, you know what? I could probably, probably raise just my troops here. So, I mean, my ships. God damn it. So let's raise our ships. So we've got 16 there, 16 here. Let's raise our vassal ships. So we've got, let's see here, 32. Okay, so we should have enough ships here. So what we'll do is we'll put you in the ships and get the rest of them to swing to Salerno. Oh, we got 2 more here. You know what? We could probably just, instead of doing that, sail these guys all over. So that's unfortunately what we're going to have to do. I think we're going to lose some money, right? We're going to lose big money from doing this. So we need to hurry this up. Ships are expensive. Come on, hurry up. What the fuck? There we go. Okay. Group you guys, some bark, and... Walking alone along the battlements one night, you suddenly see a shining white shape appearing in the sky above you. It seems to be moving towards you or maybe away. There's a strange sound in the air too, like a whispering. What is going on? So we can become zealous and get some piety. Let's absolutely do that. Zealous is really good. Okay, so a new kinswoman needs to get married, so let's do that. So I'm no longer severely injured, and I'm scarred, which gives us monthly prestige, but I also have an infection, which is not good. And I don't think there's anything I can do about that, right? I can't call the court physician for that. Okay, so we got another strong woman here. So let's take a little look-see. There's really nobody here. Let's try to get a... Since we're doing it, you're 39, let's do you. Okay, so it looks like a Beneventian revolt is going to happen. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take our troops, we're going to place them here. And then we're going to set... Is there the option to do this? I guess since I don't have monks and mystics, is there no longer the option to actually set war goals and whatnot? So where are you headed? You're going to this area here. What we're going to do with our ships is we're going to sail them back and immediately stand them down. Let's actually take a look at our commanders too. Umberto, why are you... You're an aggressive leader, light foot leader. Let's have Robert lead from the front, and we'll have the rest of these guys do the flanks. Okay, so he is actually going up here. That's fine. No, what are you doing, man? Fucking come back over here. God damn it, I'm gonna lose my troops here because my stupid ass ally is not fucking attaching to me. But they do take a river crossing penalty. And they're collapsing because I think they have, they don't have as good as technology as we do. Well, that's promising. So what I'm going to try to do is just win this war. You know what I should do? Can we get there before him? When are they going to arrive? I'm going to arrive on the 7th. They're going to arrive the... Okay, so I'm going to take a penalty if I do that. I don't want to do that. Oops. Okay. So they're going to attack us again. They're going to get a huge penalty, which is okay with me. I just want to finish this goddamn war as fast as possible. Okay, so I got another child here that needs to get married.